Damn. It's Big Cell. What that mouth do besides tell the truth on FHO Podcast Radio.
See, man, you thought we was playing. We are live right now. FHO is a lifestyle, a movement, grown folks' business. What? It's your boy, Big Cell, FHO's HNIC, Mr. Him Be Everywhere.
What's happening, man? It is Thursday night in the middle of the night. For some of y'all, I guess y'all been watching that football game. It is what it is. But check this out, man. I got to go live. I got a special guest in the house. If you're on YouTube, you can see him. If you're on IG and Facebook, you just got to know he there. You're going to hear his voice. So what up, Bubba?
What up,
Hubba Bubba in the building.
Oh, Hubba Bubba up there?
Yeah, Hubba Bubba in the building, man. Make sure you're talking to, pull it a little close to you. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
They get you now. So check this out. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we're going to take it all the way back. We're going to go back some, and then we're going to work our way on up, man, and talk about from there to the end, man. You feel me? So we're going to get it together, man. What up, Mr. Fagard? Charles Humphreys, what up with it, man? Uncle Chuck. So introduce yourself, player. Let them know who you is, and we're going to go at it from there, man.
What's up, y'all? This Ponto Racer.
Ponto Racer. Where the name Ponto Racer come from?
Man, actually, you know who gave me that name?
Who?
Well, my nickname was always Ponto as a kid growing up. But when I got on the bike set out in the town, TC from the East Bay Dragon.
TC. He gave you Ponto Racer?
Yeah, because what happened was, they had one, what was before Facebook? What was it? MySpace, right? MySpace was out. I wasn't on I never had a MySpace. Then Facebook came out, and everybody was around the town. They was doing all the talking about the racing and stuff on Facebook and stuff. So TC one day made me a Facebook page.
He made you a Facebook page.
Yeah, that's how I ended up having that. My Facebook page got made by TC, East Bay Dragon. TC,
wow.
TC, and he was like, well, what's your name to be? I was like, shit, I don't know. He said, I'm just gonna make it a Ponto Racer because you be racing. I said, oh, okay. And
listen,
and that been my name. That been my race name ever since.
But listen though, so you know how far back, because that proves some of the point to what we're gonna talk about tonight. So you saying you was racing before Facebook?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was racing before Facebook.
And some of us they never found out about racing until Facebook.
Exactly. Because you never seen. I mean, because it really wasn't no. People wasn't videotaping the races back then. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just like if you ain't where
part of the set. If you ain't part of the set, yeah.
Racing, you ain't gonna see them. You ain't gonna see them races. Like you didn't start seeing them races until Facebook. Like you said, Facebook came out.
Yeah.
Then you start seeing people racing and stuff. But
and for most of us though, down this way, it came from the videos. From the HDTV, Hulkamania, and all that type of shit. So that's when we, got into it. I know for me, I lived in California and didn't even know really too much about the the racing. So So what made you get into? So when did you get your first Harley?
Well, I got my first Harley, in what was it? I think it was like 2005.
In 05.
In 05, because I have been riding sport bikes like all my life.
Okay.
Sport bikes and dirt bikes. Like
so when TC named you, was you on a Harley or a sport?
Yeah, I was on a Harley.
You was on a Harley?
I was on a Harley. Yeah, I had my first one was a Electric Glide, a standard.
Yeah.
I got that. I thought I was doing something, man. Like I got some 2118. I had got 2118 on it. But then when I got around the set, when I came around the set,
yeah,
and I started looking at other people's bikes, man, and you know the standard don't come with no chrome.
none. Yeah,
I got out there.
You in there gray as a motherfucker.
Man, gray as a motherfucker. And it was wild. It was a brand new bike. And all I did was put 2118 on it. It was high speed wobbling. That shit was scary.
It was horrible.
So I got rid of that. I only had it like about 2 months. I had like 2 months.
Okay.
And then I went and got my Road Glide, like my race bike, the bike that I got now. Because I've been having that since like 05.
Since 05.
Yeah. So I've been having that bike ever since. I've been having that bike since then, man. So
come the racing thing, you came into the Harley Davidson game racing? Or it just developed?
No, it developed because I was first. You know, I was in the club that was started in Oakland, the Bay Area Bosses, and how it evolved is like I put a cam in the bike when I first bought it because it wasn't fast enough. Because, you know, coming from sport bikes, you know, getting on a Harley, that only had like what, like 80. The 88s only had like 60 something horsepower.
Okay.
So I put a cam in it, and I used to be around Oakland, popping wheelies on it, bouncing it, popping wheelies on it, and that's how I ended up meeting Big Manny.
Okay.
Big Manny was like, man, I heard there's a dude up here in the hundreds, man, be up here in the hundreds in East Oakland, that be popping wheelies on the bike. Who is that? Is that you? And then that's how I met him. But I had seen him because I'm from Frisco, so I had seen him. Before I got a Harley, I seen him in Frisco one day. They had a party on 3rd Street, a bike party, man, and he came up on the Green Road King, man. I had never seen a nigga do this on no Harley though.
Yeah,
man. That nigga came. That nigga was riding a Willie up the hill. Nigga, the hill, the street went up like this, and then it went up again. And nigga rode, man. I said, I gotta get me a motherfucking Harley, man. I gotta get me a Harley, man. And it just looked so fun. And then one day, you know, we was riding in sport bikes and shit, and we had a little sport bike, bunch of cats riding sport bikes, and we rode to a reggae concert in San Jose, California, and we was all on. It was like about 5 or 6 of us on sport bikes, and it was one dude on a Harley. He had an electric glide.
Yeah.
And man, the nigga must have played Akon Locked Up all day.
Like he was just knocking at him.
Man, he was knocking that man. I was like, man, I'm getting me one, man. I swear. From that point on, I was sold. I was sold. When I rode with that nigga, that nigga played Akon all day.
Locked Up.
What? I was on. I was like, fuck that. I got rid of that sport bike immediately.
Yeah.
Like, what? I give me a Harley. You know what I mean? But then, you know, and then I started hanging around it. I moved to Oakland.
Okay.
And once I got on the bike set in Oakland.
See, a lot of us, when you say Frisco, we consider Frisco and Oakland to be the same place, same thing.
Nah, it ain't the same. It's across the bridge. It's like 20 that the bridge will separate Frisco from Oakland. And it's two separate. It's two
different worlds.
It's two separate cities. It's just like
L.A. and San Diego.
Exactly. So when you say the town, they talking about Oakland. You know what I mean?
The Bay, they talking about Frisco.
When they say the Bay, you actually talking about all the cities that
Vallejo,
Bay surround.
San Jose.
Vallejo ain't really considered the Bay, but it's like a part of it because it's a part of the Bay that runs through Vallejo.
Okay.
But they really talking about the cities that surround the Bay Area. You know what I mean? Like Hayward and San Leandro, all the little cities.
So how do they say? So when you from Frisco, what do you just say? Frisco?
Yeah, I'm just say Frisco because
so
Frisco
is Oakland.
The Bay is Oakland. The Bay is all of them. It's considered like all the surrounding cities of that body of water that's in between them.
I got you.
Know what I mean? But you know, people when they say they from the town, they like from the town.
That's
you know
Oakland.
I mean? Like that's Oakland. That's Oakland. You know what I mean? So when we was younger, we didn't really. It really didn't mix. Frisco really didn't mix with Oakland like that until like mainly like really like the bike set. You know, there's a few people that had people from Oakland and stuff. You know what I mean? But once the bike set evolved,
once the younger generation got involved, because the bike set was already involved.
But it brought both sides like really to be cool. Like,
well, it did the same thing it did in L.A. It allowed the Bloods and the Crips to be able to function together.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? Because the bike set kind of. I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if I can really make this statement, but the bike set kind of slowed down gangbanging.
Yeah,
you know, because it allowed people, you know, because you got clubs now with Bloods, major Crips, and they function together inside the club. So the bike set kind of helped slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, and that was a good thing though, and it kind of did that. It kind of did that in the Bay Area too. But you know, we didn't have like, you know, gangs like Crips and Bloods up there. You know what I mean? It was mainly like where you from, like what street you from or what neighborhood you from. That's what you represented. You know what I mean? It was still they were still labeling us as gang members. Like even like me growing up in Frisco, in the part of town I grew up. Like I was like when I was like 16, 17 years old, I was labeled as a gang member. Wow. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody seen it. Like they had a little thing on YouTube when I was like 16 years old.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I had on my little project hat. You know what I mean? And because they had just killed my cousin. You know what I mean? Like the cats from the other side of town, like from the 3rd Street area, from Hunters Point area. You know what I mean? We was because I'm from Sunnydale. That's on the like the southern part of San Francisco. Like that's on the far end. Like,
so is that bougie, middle end, or low class?
No, it's projects. they call it the swamp, man. They call it dirty, the dirty Sunnydale, dirty. It was just dirt. They called it the swamp because it was so dirty. Like when it rained, it's like a swamp in between the projects. And they didn't have no grass. Yeah, the grass didn't grow. It was
straight mud, though.
Yeah, it was nothing but mud, man. It was fun place to grow up at, like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I tell people. Even for me, growing up in Compton, I didn't know Compton was Compton. It's just where I lived at. You know what I'm saying? So the shootings and all that shit was okay. We knew when we got to this block, we had to run across this alley. You know, hop this fence. They don't say, you know, be quiet, creep through here. But that was just what we did.
You had to watch yourself growing up, though. Some people don't understand like what people went through, like what us, like people that's older that went through. Like growing up in them neighborhoods and shit, man, and you know, just seeing all the shit, man, and what people actually been through. You know what I mean? Like for people, like the pain that we done endured over life, and you know, they see you now and they think, oh, he just a happy dude. He don't, you know, he ain't got no worries. You know what I mean? Man, you don't know what I've been through, man. You don't know where I come from. Man. Just because I race motorcycles, I'm happy, or like.
Well, a lot of people don't consider you happy. A lot of people consider you to be an angry dude, man.
Yeah, and
we're gonna get into that though.
It's just that I tend to, you know, I don't know. I just be using crazy words sometimes. Like, no, I just got a slick mouth though.
Oh yeah, you got
because that's coming from that's coming from.
We all grew up aggressive. I tell people all the time, the West Coast is aggressive.
Yeah, and that come from like the people that I grew up around, and like the people that even like when I came on the bike set, like everybody had slick mouths. Yeah, like everybody, everybody. Like, man, I don't know if a lot of people if they knew Dynamite. Like Dynamite had one of the slickest tongues, man. Like the way he would talk, man, it was like, man, that dude was. He was vicious. He made you want to talk slick. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's just the way he used his words and the way he came out, and the way he was just saying it. Like, you know, like you know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, you know what I mean? Understand? You know, it's more of like too, like coming out of the Bay too. It's like more like California. You know how like pimps used to talk.
Yeah, it's that swag. Like, the West Coast got that swag. The West Coast got its flavor, just like down south, up north, the whole 9 yards. But that Cali swag, if you grew up in it, you know, just like I tell people all the time, growing up in Compton, you had to be aggressive.
Yeah.
What's happening, nigga? You angry like when Cat Williams said, what you gang banging at breakfast, nigga? It just is what it is. It's just that aggression, even from the Bay to LA. So we're gonna get into that. So you've been on the scene 2005. What made you say, okay, this racing shit is what I'm gonna kind of take on?
First, I was on the stunting first though.
Okay, so you went to stunting first.
Yeah, I went to stunting first. You know who? Because I used to ride wheelies on my sport bike and shit, like on the freeways and all that shit. I used to be stunting on my sport bike. Okay. But what made me want to stunt on the Harley was, and I seen you talking about him, was Booby Hooker.
But boy,
man, that nigga,
Booby,
that's my partner, man. I
Booby
love
killed
Booby,
the Dragons.
I love
man.
Booby. Man, you should see. You I don't know if you can go back and watch some of his old videos.
Yeah.
Like some of the old videos. Like you need to probably look them up. I don't know what videos they is, because he had a 03 Road Glide anniversary.
Wow.
I mean, it was clean.
Yeah.
Man, and he had and this was when, like, everybody didn't really have big motors. Like the motor would have, like back then, like in 2005, 2006, was like a 95.
A hot 95.
What?
They always used to call it a hot 95.
Hot 95,
yeah.
man. And 95, man. And Boob had one of the hottest 95s ever.
Yeah,
bro. Like his shit used to burn him. And then Nasty had a hot 95.
Yeah.
Man, he used to burn rubber, man, like a block, man.
Yeah.
They used to come, man, made me go put a 95 on my bike. I went and put a 95, and then I called myself trying to race him on my 95, and man, we was on the freeway on the little ride one day, man, and he just looked at me, man.
But let me tell you something, man, and I was telling this story, man.
Yeah.
When he pulled up with the Captain America hat, the Captain America socks,
yeah,
the show pant, and when he stunted,
yeah,
homie, it was like it had never been done before, man. He's off the bike. I started this gangster shit. He was clouded, man.
Yeah.
To see him, how old is Booby now? About what?
Boob. I think Boob is he a little bit older than me. He a little
about
bit
50
older than me. Boob might be around 50. He might be around 50.
Dude,
I think Boob might
man.
be around 50, like close to it. I don't let me get the line, but I know me and him. I think I'm around close to his age though.
Listen, when I tell you, when he came through that motherfucker, man, snatching, jerking, and slamming on brakes and hook sliding and slide, man, that shit was amazing.
Yeah. Hey, you should look up. I think it's on HD, one of the HD TVs.
Yeah.
When what's his name from the Soul Brothers from LA.
Yeah, you talking about when he your boy, the president now.
Yeah,
my boy. Come on, I can't think of his name, he said Booby Hooker pulled and fucked his whole world up.
Yeah, he said he made him want to learn how to burn rubber. He said that nigga pulled up.
So that was Booby that was pulled up with and let his girl off the back.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's how he used to, man, and that was the thing, like on the bike set in LA and in the Bay, man. Like when you pull up, like it's go time. Ain't no like now, like it's like I said. The
now when you leave, it's go time.
Yeah, but they don't nobody know how to really. They don't know how to do no.
They don't know how to let it go.
They don't know how to do no go time. Like, you know what I mean? These dudes do the go time. They gonna run all in this shit. No offense to nobody though, man. But you know, I give them E for effort, man. You know what I mean? Don't kill yourself. You know what I mean? But you know, because these new bikes, you can't do what you used to do on them older bikes. You know what I mean?
All these new bikes, all these restrictions and all that.
And them big tires, like you try to get sideways with them big tires, that shit ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work.
Because when it mainly all that stunting, that was with little tires.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like them little tires, you can go sideways all the way up and down the street. You know what I mean? And pull up and skid.
So you said a pull-up game back then.
Man, you had to have a vicious pull-up game, man. You had to have a vicious pull-up game, man. I learned from Boob, like watching him. Like you gotta pull up and you gotta be really like
mean mugging it, mean mugging,
And then the funny thing about that too, like I end up like when I first came on the set in Oakland and I started doing that.
Yeah.
People used to like, man, like they'll get at people that I know because I wasn't from Oakland. They'll get at people that I know and they be like, man, why that nigga mean mugging, man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to tell them, like, man,
that's just all part of the act. That's the pull-up game.
Yeah, that's the pull-up game, man. You know what I mean?
It ain't personal, nigga.
Yeah, it ain't personal. But a lot of people in the town at first was like taking it certain people was taking it personal. Like, man, this nigga always mean mugging when he pulling up. He a old arrogant ass nigga. But I wasn't like that. I was only doing doing that. I was putting on my mask just to pull up, and then when I get off the bike, you know what I mean? I was ready. I was ragged. I spark up the blunts and shit. We smoking blunts and we drinking it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then when I leave, it's serious. I'm lighting it up. I'm letting it have it. Like, cause I remember one time too, man. I swear, I rode to. I got off work at like 5 o'clock in the evening one day, and I went home, got me a backpack, put me like a pair of pants and some shirts, some drawers and shit in there, and rode to L.A. By myself, right? So I rode to L.A. by myself. I get to L.A. I stop at the shop, Young Guns shop, and Young Guns, because that's who I started fucking with when I first started going to L.A. first. Okay. Like I was Young Guns and Trail. Okay. I don't know if you know Trail. Trail wasn't second to none, but them was the two niggas that I knew. Okay. That I was fucking with. So I went to Greg's shop, dropped my backpack off, and the DOs was having something. So I went straight over to the DOs, and man, I pulled up at the DOs. Oh man, I gave them the business out there. I was like, I was up and down the street. Man, Bodie came out. Bodie came out in the street. Bodie, he didn't grab me. He just came up. He walked up to my bike. He said, "Look, man, you better not make one more pass over here." And the way he said it,
you knew,
I knew he was serious, man. I got respect for older.
And people, I'm out here by myself, though.
Yeah, and I got respect. I was like, man, okay. And I just pulled over. I pulled over and parked my bike, man.
But you came there later to make a statement,
man. What did I? And I was by myself too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't think I wasn't even in the
club or nothing.
I wasn't in the club or nothing like that. I was just because I just knew some people from LA. You know.
So let's talk about the beginning of this motorcycle shit for you. When you, like I said, you come from the sports bike, watching the Harleys, you gravitated to the Harleys. Watching Booby, getting your pull-up gang, right? Mm. How much fun was it back then?
Man, that shit was a lot of fun, man. It's because the main events that we used to have that just used to be so fun that we used to look forward to, like, and which was like 3 times a year, mainly like 2 times a year, was going to Fresno. Yeah. Because when we go to Fresno, like that Saturday morning, we go up to the Harley dealer. Oh man, it was just a stunt show at the Harley dealer. Everybody pull up. They won't even block off the streets, but it'd just be people just lined up on the side street of the Harley dealer, and people pull up. They burning rubber. We burning rubber all up and down the street. You know what I mean? They popping willies, man. And it's just
so we went to Fresno just to do that. That was
We went to Fresno just to do that, and then it would be like some lightweight little races and stuff like between people from LA and the Bay. You know what I mean? There's
because it was a Bay versus LA rivalry, but it was a friendly rivalry, was it a real serious beef?
No, it wasn't never no. I don't think it was never no beef though. I don't think.
I mean, a serious rivalry wasn't it?
No, it was just more. It was just more or less so like bragging rights. I never took it serious like that. Like like fuck that. I don't like that nigga. I hate that nigga. I can't stand that nigga. I ain't never felt like that. And I told my wife that earlier today. Like what I mean, I told her. I said I never like. From shit talking on some race shit, it never got serious. Like, you know what I mean, to where a nigga like would be ready to fight. You know what I mean? No shit like that. It's more so just shit talking. Race shit talk is more. It's more. Well,
like I say, but and I'm gonna say this too, because coming from the West Coast, coming from LA, coming from Compton, you had to learn how to shoot jokes. You had to learn how to bag, take jokes, and you had to learn how to set your feeler to the side.
You gotta have thick skin.
Yeah, you had to have thick skin, because I'm telling you, any given day at school, you could get your ass wore out.
And that was me. That was me in school too. Yeah. Man. I was a class clown, man. Yeah. Like, I was a good capper.
Yeah.
Like I cap on
Yeah,
on nigga.
yeah.
See, them people don't know what that word means.
They don't know what capping means.
I used to be cap. I used to come to school specifically to cap.
All day.
You know what I mean? All day.
Waiting on somebody to come up with some fucked up shoes on, shirt, jacket.
Man, I'm getting kicked out of every half of my classes for the day. Because I'm in the back of the class. I'm capping on this nigga because he come in dirty.
Yeah.
We calling him dirty. You know what I mean? He got some dirty clothes on. You know what I mean? I didn't mean no harm by it, but
that was just how we grew up.
That was just
listen, man. When I grew up, man, listen. If anything was wrong with your mama, you let your mama drop you off and the car was raggedy. Shit, we tore your ass up. You could, man. It was rough. Boy. You had to learn how. He called it capping, bagging, shooting the dozens, whatever you want to call it.
Hey, the main thing back then, like for me, like in the what's that like? I say like the late 70s, the early 80s.
Yeah.
Don't have your fucking Jerry curl fucked up in the back. Your Jerry curl belling, if your Jerry curl belling, you know what I mean by belling. Like if you know your curl good, it's good. But you got breakage in the back. You know what I mean? So a nigga hair your curls will be all fly on the sides and shit. But when you get to the back, you ain't got nothing hanging back there. Your shit like like it's chopped off. Boy, you have fucked up. Man, niggas
you quit. They make you quit school, right?
Man, they used to go bad on niggas with bad curls.
Make a motherfucker commit. And this is what I was saying too. As a black kid growing up, we didn't even know what suicide was. We probably would have committed suicide. But
hey, for real, because it was a lot, man. Kids was hard. We was real harsh. Like the 80s, like the early 80 kids, like 70 something, like late 70, like I said, middle 70.
I graduated class of 87, so from that 70 on, from elementary all the way to high school, it was rough.
Yeah, up to like 80. For me, it was like 80 up to like 88. I didn't graduate. I got kicked out. I was fucking around. I was running around. I just had. Then I moved to the projects. Like when I got to high school, we moved. My mom finally moved us to the projects, and once I moved to the projects, like it was just it changed me. Like you know what I mean. Like the kids that was my age was out there. They had gold chains, Puma sweatsuits. You know what I mean, and cars and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know. They get all this. How y'all get this?
We in the project. We supposed to be this motherfucker broke.
Man, they got Puma sweatsuits. You know them Puma sweatsuits with the stripes.
Back in the day, the Adidas, you had the Pumas, you had the all of them, man.
They had gold
Fila.
The Fila, they had gold chains. They had radios. Man,
you sit up there looking like, what the fuck?
Man, I wanted in, man. You know what I mean? I wanted in.
You wanted in.
I wanted in, man. I got in though, and I got in. I mean, unfortunately, man, I wish I would have stayed in school and shit. You know what I mean? But you know, I learned a lot because when I got out there, man, I didn't really run with the young cats, man. I ran with the old heads.
But you know what? That I don't know.
Yeah.
Because when we grew up, that's what we was taught to do. Was we never really hung with people.
Yeah.
The few partners you had that was your age.
Yeah.
But we always was hanging with the OGs, trying to be what they were trying to do, what they were doing.
Yeah.
This generation now, I don't know who they hang with because they ain't trying to hang with us to get no knowledge.
Yeah, they like old head.
Shout out to my man Percy Pooh Daddy Richard. What up, Pooh? What up, baby? We see you in there, man. My man Pooh. But so here it is. You moved. You got your first Harley. You done put you some cams in there.
Yeah.
You done tried to go after the king, young Booby.
Yeah, I tried to go after Booby. Booby slid off on me on the freeway, man. I was like, I feel so bad. Like, hey, you know what's funny after that too though?
What?
I went and spent $10,000 on the fucking motor.
Right after that.
Right after that, I said, fuck that. I got to get some beat.
So how serious was it in the Bay to have a decent ass fast motor? How serious? Well, it was hella serious to you because you said you went and spent 10 racks.
I went and spent 10 racks. I didn't even have 10 racks, but I went and spent 10 racks.
Yeah, you gonna figure it out later.
Yeah, I was figuring it out later, man. I was working. I made sure I was working every day, nigga. Yeah. I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna pay that motor off fast. I got my motor done in like about a month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was at that point. At that time, it was like, I say it was like, what, 07, like 06, 07. Like, everybody was getting like 95s and shit. And it was a couple of people that had some 124s. You know what I mean? And Fast Black, he always had a fast, you know, like a fast. He always had something faster. It was faster than everybody else's.
Fast Black.
Fast Black.
Yeah, so he was the one to get down with her.
Nah, you don't want to fuck with him. His bike was always faster. His bike was always faster than everybody else. But they had a couple of other cats, you know, that was around that had some nice running bikes, like some OG cats. Like it was a cat like Hub. Hub had a nice running bike. He's a good brother out of Oakland. Okay. He's an older cat. And it was a couple of other.
So that was the thing, not only just to have a Harley, but to have that beef about that motor.
Yeah, you had to have a thumping because back then it wasn't no D&D pipes. We was running Thunderheader. Thunderheaders make
one of the baddest pipes. Yeah, period.
Thunderheader, man. If you ain't had no Thunderheader on your bike, man, it didn't sound shitty.
And I'm gonna tell you something, and again, when I'm going back to East Bay Dragons, when all of them OGs pulled up, every OG that pulled up, boy, and they yapping.
They don't run no D&Ds like that. They still on their Thunderheaders, man. Thunderheaders was the shit. Yeah. Like if you didn't have a Thunderheader on your bike, don't come with the Thunderheader slip on. No, don't do it.
Gotta have the true dude.
Gotta have a Thunderheader, 2-in-1. Yeah. You can have a Falsey over there, but you can't have that the true dude even sounded like shit. Like you could tell when the
2-in-1. 2-in-1.
You could tell when somebody pull up and they ain't got the right one.
What's up, Miss Justine? I see you checking in.
You know what I mean? You can tell when they ain't got it on. So
go from that. You spend the bread to.
When I spent the bread, when I spent that $10,000, I got a 116.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, like when I got the 116, I went to you know, fast at that time was Fast Black Mechanic and Big Manny Mechanic. So when I took my bike over there, I told him, because, you know, I used to see Big Manny stunting on his bike, and, you know, he was riding his bike everywhere. I went in there and I told him, I said, man, I want what Big Manny got. I don't care what it is, what it costs.
Yeah.
I want what he got.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, okay, well, it's gonna cost you this. All right.
Yeah.
I said, all right, I'm cool. Man,
we talking about 10 racks and shit. That was a lot of money. That was,
man, tell me about it. I didn't even have a bike partially paid for. I had the bike I had the bike like a year. I financed it. I still owe like 20-something thousand.
And then spent 10 on the motor.
Spent 10 on the motor. I was like, shit, you know what I mean? But
all because Booby drug your ass.
Man, all because Boob drugged me. Man. He drugged me. We was riding from I think from Fairfield or something on one of them little back highways.
Yeah.
And we was riding, and I got on the side of him, and that nigga looked at me. He downshifted. I downshifted. We took off. Wow. And he just like, wow. I said, oh, hell to the no. I said, I cannot not take that no more. But then when I pulled up with my 116 though, oh man. That's when I was serious on the I was serious, like when I pulled up.
Greg Smith done checked in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I used to pull up on that 116 though, I was.
Greg Smith said, "Hey, tell him he had a Walmart first getting it in." He said, Greg said you had a Walmart getting it in.
I had a Walmart.
Yeah, he said at first getting it in a Walmart, whatever that means. He said, tell him he had a Walmart at first getting it in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You
got to tell me. You got to say it if a word in a different way.
You got to word that one different, G. So you get into the racing, you spend the money. Did you get the title then? After spending?
Nah, I didn't get no title then. I was chasing all the big names. I wanted to chase the big names because at that time, you know, like when we used to go to LA, like Dynamite was the nigga down there.
Yeah.
Like his bike was fast. Like
okay.
He pull up and he was talk his shit. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to go to the top of the food chain, and I hadn't even been at the bottom of the food chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to chase him. And
so how did the Bay hear about Dynamite? I mean, because see what I'm saying is we're talking about a 300-mile difference.
Because Red Reed used to always come up. They always used to come to the Dragons all the time like that, and they always. Every time Dragons, they used to come up deep, and even the good, because back then it was real tight with the Goodfellas.
Okay.
So they was like more like brother clubs with the Goodfellas. So they used to always come up there at least 3 or 4 times a year, come up to the Bay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and when they come up there, and especially like the Dragons, and when they come up to the Dragons, and everybody get, how the Dragons, you see how everybody was out there, like niggas would be standing
all
around
in
smoking,
the middle of the street,
niggas be standing out there smoking weed, and shit. Niggas be talking shit. Nigga, what? Nigga, well, my shit faster than yours, and we going racing over here, we gonna go run, and that's how the shit kicked off.
That's how it kicked off.
That's how it kicked off. Niggas be talking shit to each other, but that shit been going on before. All of us though, way before me, before the Dynamites and them, before all them, like OG. I don't know if you met him, heavy, like heavy and them. Like he told me a story one time, like about how he used to race the white boys and shit.
Yeah,
at first, like
what
I mean, and how they used to do back in the day on Sportsters.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then how he was telling me about how they used to go back and forth with the people from LA and stuff too though, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, because Heavy told me he lost his first race to Fred from Red Reed.
Yeah. He told me that. He told me that too. Yeah. So it always been like and I'm glad you said that because OGs had already established the bragging, the shit talking, the whole 9 yards and the racing. So when we just came in, it was just our turn, our generational turn to just kick it on off. Yeah. Just like I was just talking to you about, like how mumble rap is, like how it's how rap is transitioning over into something else now, like from even like when hip hop first started, like you know what I mean, like. It evolves, and then people may not like it.
Hip hop to gangster rap to East Coast, you said. So now we in the mumble rap phase.
Now we in the mumble rap era, like you know what I mean. Like it's just a forever going cycle, man. Yeah. With just the way the world works, man. It's kind of crazy, but it is what it is, and sometimes and it's like. It's crazy because like even like referencing to the rap and stuff, like the older people didn't want to relinquish the rap to
the younger people.
To the younger people, and then when the next generation came on, they didn't want to release it.
Yeah.
And just like now, like you'll see them on there, like man, like I'll be watching like on them little clips on Facebook, and the New York older rappers, and they all talking about, oh man, that whack.
They couldn't hold a candle to us and this and this and that.
Yeah. They be going in on them like man, we need to get rid of that, man. But,
yeah. So you come down to LA to get that Dynamite. Well, how did that turn out?
Well, it took like a couple of years. It took like a couple of years for me to really even be like get at him, like you know what I mean, like because I really wasn't a known person, like you know what I mean at that time.
So you said you wouldn't even. So he wasn't even racing you,
Nah, it wasn't that he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. Well, actually, we did actually. Actually, I had called him out one time, and when in the process of him having, he had a white road glide with a red stripe on it. He had a nice motor on it. It was kind of fast, and he had a 116 and I had my 116. So I was like, oh, I want to race him because our motors are the same size. Let's see what it do. But it went some time, we was missing each other. I was trying to race him, and and then in the process, he ended up getting rid of that bike, and he was building another bike. But he came to Oakland this one time for the Dragon. I think it was one of the Dragons event. He came up to Oakland anyway. He came up there on one of the other club members' bike, on this cat named Stroker. He came up there on his bike, so. And he came up there, and we had been talking shit about. We had been going back and forth, talking about racing and shit. I want to race the white and red bike, and he come up there on that bike, You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, what happened to you? Where the bike at?
Yeah.
He like, nah, nigga, God run you on this, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, all right, well, come on, man, we try it. So it was a few of us. It was like only a few of us this day. We rolled over to the little spot, 7th Street over on the port.
Yeah.
It's like about 9, 10 o'clock at night. We ride over there, something like 3 or 4 of us. We raced a couple of times. I get him like twice. You know what I mean? He won one. I got him the other 2 times. And then you know, we talk shit. And then the next day we end up going back down there, and then it was all on video. They had it on video. They had it on one of those HD TVs and shit. And we was out there talking shit, and you know, I was trying to get him to race me again in front of all the people.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even his bike though. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then, you know, and he was saying that, you know, it wasn't his bike, you know, but I was like, shit, well, you shouldn't have came up here to race me on somebody
Don't bring your ass on. Half ass. Yeah.
But in the process though, I felt that what he really was doing though, he really had a ulterior motive for coming to race me on that bike. He came up there to race me on that bike really to see how fast my bike was.
Wow.
So when he built his bike, he knows what to do.
Okay.
With his bike, and he did that. He did just that. So we end up he ended up finishing his other bike, and man, we had this. You know, it was I don't know, was it a rare breed weekend? I think it was. I think it was a rare breed weekend down there. So we set up a race between me and him. You know what I mean? And man, I was telling you, I brought like half of the Bay Area people down there with me, and man, and Dynamite was a cool dude, man, because like that weekend, like we kicked it, like he took me and a couple of other cats from Oakland, took us to the Lakers game and shit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We went out, we ate and shit. You know what I mean? And we got out there that day, and man, I'm telling you, this day over there on Mansville,
Mansville, yeah.
Man, it had to be like, I don't know how many people out there, man, but the block was flooded with people.
Yeah,
like it was,
that's how. Yeah,
man, my daughter was even out there. My youngest daughter was even out there. Like her mama brought her.
That
out
was
there
that was yeah.
Like it was that many.
That's
people.
the thing
like,
to do. That's what it was. Yeah.
So
the street races.
So me and him, we finally locked up. But in between that time, from racing with my 116 to that time, like I had ended up messing up my motor, and I had redid something else to my motor, but it wasn't coming
as strong as it was when you really wanted it. When you first went at them.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way. I lost, man. The bike just didn't have it, man.
Yeah.
It didn't have it. It'd get out the hole good, but by the time it hit 3rd gear, he had more than what I had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shit, I lost, man. He got me, you know what I mean?
See, what I like about that whole story is that how you say, even though we had been talking shit back and forth, Dynamite still made sure when we came to town we had a good time. You say, y'all went out to eat, he took you to the Laker game and all of that. Yeah. That was some gentleman shit.
Yeah. It was real cool. Like that was a cool weekend. Even though I lost, you know what I mean. I kind of like it. Like the people. Like from the Bay, kind of like made me feel like, oh, you let us down. But even though it was still other races out there though, like because everybody from the Bay came down. The people that had bikes from the Bay, they was out there racing other people. They was out there racing other people too.
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna put you. I'm actually a tricky question. Not ain't tricky, but where did stunting come from, the Bay or LA?
I'll say the Bay. But the cleanness of the bikes came from LA. Like
the floss came from LA, but the stunt came from the Bay.
Yeah, the stunt came from the Bay. But
where did the fast motors come from, LA or the Bay?
Well, it was kind of like a mix. They started LA had some fast bikes too though. They had some fast bikes. I ain't gonna say they didn't have no fast bikes because they did. You know what I mean? But they had clean bikes though.
Yeah.
I mean, like their bikes was clean. Like when they pulled up, like their bikes was they bikes was clean, like, you know what I mean, like the Allens everywhere, the frame matching the paint, you know what I mean. We're up in the Bay, we didn't give a fuck about all that.
Just motor,
man. You gotta have a motor.
Yeah,
you gotta have a motor.
Fuck what it look like. You just better have that monster.
Yeah, we'll put a little paint. We'll put a little paint on it, but we ain't finna take all that shit off. We ain't wasn't taking all that shit off to paint no frame and shit. You know what I mean? Fuck all that, nigga. Put a paint on that motherfucker and call it a day, man. Put some rims on it, some handlebars. You know what I mean?
By this time, you've established Ponto Racer. You got the page up. You're racing. I guess, was you knocking people off in the Bay, or was you winning?
Yeah, I had a few races in the Bay. I had a few. It wasn't because it really at that time it wasn't too many big motors.
Okay, and back then a big motor was a 116.
Like a 116 up to a 124, like up to a 131.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like them was considered big motors. Like even like 113, even like 113s. 113s ran pretty good because a good 113 will run like a 124.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If it's built right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it really wasn't.
That's funny that a 116 or 124. Them were damn near regular stock ass motors right there at today's game. Man. So you win a couple of races, you get your name out there, you're establishing who you are, the stunt, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. Now let's get from the West Coast. Now you down here on the East Coast. What was your first invitation this way?
What I said, I think I came to your house. I did. I came to your house. I sent my bike out here. Lil Ron brought it out here.
Yeah, you called me.
Yeah, Lil Ron brought it.
I had started the FHO. You called me like, "Selman, I want to come out there, blah, 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 blah."
Yeah,
but I don't.
Yeah.
He said, and I said, "Well, bro, just send your bike to my house, and it'll be here waiting on you when you get here, the whole 9 yards."
Yeah, Lil Ron.
And that was our first time really meeting.
I think, because I think I raced Measy that weekend. Well, I didn't race Measy. I raced Double D.
Yeah.
And I gave him 5 bikes in the move. I lost.
Hey, come on, you ain't supposed to say that on camera, man. You gave the money.
I did though. I did though. I did. I mean, if he beat me, I felt like at that point, I felt like, and he knew that his bike at that time, that bike, the way his bike was set up, the way mine was set up, he wasn't gonna beat me like a head up race. And and it was
that's not the one that was pictured, the photo finish was.
Yeah,
that's the photo finish.
Yeah, that was the photo finish. Yeah,
the one I did with the photo finish.
I gave him 5 bikes in a move. Yeah. I almost ran into the curve down there, but I still almost caught him. I thought I caught him.
Well, remember, it was so close. It was a photo finish. To be honest, it depends on what side of the street you was on to say who really won that race.
Yeah, and I like I said, and people always be like,
but if it's that close, if it's a tie, and I gave you 5 in the move, I won.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
But I didn't take it. I didn't take it as that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I took the loss on the chin. Like, and see, people always would say that about me too. Sometimes, like oh, I'm bitter and I'm all this. Man, I done took plenty of losses where I ain't even never said nothing. And the cold part about it, I never even like. Oh, out of all them years, I never even talked shit to Measy or called him out on that on racing him again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I just felt like, oh, that was cool. That was a gentleman's race, and I lost to you. You know what I mean? That is what it is. You know what I mean? But and then when I heard him, then one day he did a video and he was talking shit about me. I was like, really? I called him.
Yeah.
I called him.
Yeah.
I called him on the phone. I said, man, really, that's how we doing shit. And then he was like, oh man, no, man, that was just, somebody else was talking and shit. I said, all right, man, whatever, man. You know what I mean? I say, because I do keep a player about wins and losses, man.
I mean, but you're a competitive dude.
But then the cold part about it is like when other people lose their races. If they say, like, so say for instance, I say, oh man, I lose a race, and I do some stupid shit. I may miss a gear, or something, and then I say, oh man, I missed a gear. Oh nigga, you making excuses? Nah, they ain't making excuses. That's just what happened. Yeah. But then when they do it, oh, I missed the gear. It ain't an excuse on their part.
And you give them a run back.
Yeah, and I give them a run back.
But you don't get a run back.
Man, I don't get a run back. They run off with they'll run off with my money. They'll run off with my money, man. Like that was like Memphis when I came down here and I raced pound for pound. My boy Heat. With Heat. And he a cool dude, man. Yeah. I fuck with Heat, man. He a good friend of mine now, you know what I mean? And I done made some good friends from racing too, though. Like even like racing some people, like even like my boy Sammy, man, you know what I mean? Like I was, you know, chasing him for a while, like trying to race him, you know what I mean? I end up losing to him, you know what I mean? And it was what it was, but you know what I mean? But, you know, we developed a friendship behind that too, though. It wasn't so much of a rivalry. Like, you know what I mean? Like like I said, people be having that perception of me, man, that I'm just an asshole, man. But I mean, it's cool. They can everybody's entitled to their own opinion, man. They can think what they want to think of me, man. I ain't mad at you. I don't care, and it's cool. I'm living for me. I'm living for me. You know what I mean? I'm not here to try to make people
comfortable and all.
Yeah. That's not. I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Because they can go accept that shit from somebody else and it'll be fine. Yeah. They can talk to them bad, call them all dog dick motherfuckers and shitty motherfuckers and all that shit. But then if I say one word to them, oh, that nigga, he think he all that, man. That's right. You know what? I'm cool with it, man. Like I said, man. But the racing, like coming to the South though, it was a little bit different because, like in Cali, like, you know, we never was really racing for no money.
Yeah,
you know
so
like when I came down here, like that was my first time. When I came down here and I raced pound for pound, that was my first like money race, and I raced for like $1,000 that day, and I lost.
Pound for pound with they sneaky ass.
And I lost that race. And I lost that race, and them niggas left.
They can't. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Pound for pound, homie, has pulled one of the greatest stunts of all time. Yeah. They came down here with that old country ass boo game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, they fugazi. They fugazi.
Took all the money. They won all the races. Listen, and they came with suspenders on and suspenders and work boots and shit, and them old plaid shirts and shit, and them old hats on crooked and shit. Well, we'll if anybody wanted to race, we'll race. Yeah. No, they had all them old hot ass motors. They came down there, won all that money, got straight on the trailer, and got gold, man.
Now they left, man, fast. Hey, it was like about 30 of them too. It was like about 30 of them. Them niggas all lined up so fast, man.
Matter of fact, I told what you call the barbecue. I said, man, I remember when y'all first came, y'all niggas had hay all in your hair and shit, had straw hats on with this shit, all that little country ass shit with that bullshit pound for pound, man. They're my partners, man.
Yeah, they cool.
Shout out to Pound for Pound, man. Yeah. Hey, we're going to pay some bills, man, and we're going to be right back, man.
Eco One, the superior eco-friendly motorcycle and auto detailing spray. Eco One super wetting and low foaming polymer technology cleans by flowing underneath the dirt particles and lift them away from the surface. All you need to do is spray, wipe, and watch the amazing shine appear. All of this is done with very little time and effort, but the results look like you spent all day waxing your vehicle. Eco One. Don't ride dirty.
Say, man, y'all know what it is.
Hammer said that was Hammerville. You right, that was Hammerville. My bad. It wasn't Mansville. It was Hammerville.
Hey, listen, man. Eco1, ECO1 Motorsports. Hit them up. Put in the discount code FHO. Might save you a few dollars, man, and save you a few dollars and get some free shipping.
Select Luxury Cars, proud sponsor of the FHO Podcast Live Show, the most diverse luxury vehicle selection in the greater Atlanta area, the highest quality customer service, and unmatched nationwide pricing. Contact Mike Goodall at 678-855-2292 to schedule your appointment today. Select Luxury Cars, trusted family dealer since 1994.
Say, man, head over man Mike Goodall, 678-855-2292. If you're looking to buy a vehicle, any make, model, brand, high end, low end, medium, man, give him a shot, man. He's the man for you. I got you, man. We coming back.
God damn. It's Big Cell. What that mouth do besides tell the truth on FHO Podcast Radio.
Say, man, we back. I see I got my man Dex Moses on one of them old pound for pound. You see him on there peeping.
Yeah, I see Black Moses.
Yeah, we're on there peeping, man, and on there peeping and creeping, man. Listen, man, that bullshit y'all pull, Moses, You know what I'm saying? Coming down here with the straw and shit. Y'all came down here with wagon wheels and all that old bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Looking like they was fresh off the Little House of Prairie. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said the other day though. They said that was the best show, and they had. They said, "But y'all fell off."
They fell. You think they fell off?
They said
I don't know.
Off.
You ain't seen that new clubhouse they got?
No, I ain't talking about. You talking about
since the race game?
I'm just talking about the race game. I ain't talking about them. I ain't talking about them as a club. No,
okay.
No, they ain't.
You talking about the race game?
I'm talking about the race game. Like the race game went south. Like,
well, me and you gonna talk about that too, because we was talking about earlier how it done went to a whole nother. Listen.
It's different. It's different now.
From watching you guys on the West Coast, that shit used to be exciting. We used to buy all the DVDs, and then when I was able, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm tell me if you can tell me if you disagree. Big Sale, FHO, me brought racing to the South. HD Bagger Racing. Had you heard anything before that? Before me?
Nah, because I didn't know nobody. I didn't know nobody down here.
That part. I'm making that statement, man. That's what I tell everybody.
I didn't know nobody.
I brought that shit to the South from watching and I actually called. I called Fast Black. I called HD TV. I called all of the people that was doing the film and said, man, I want to start doing that. Anyway, I brought it here, and I got you guys to come here. We started having fun. Yeah. And our crowd got big, like you were saying, it used to be over there in L.A. Because you remember when y'all came that year, we the streets was uncontrollable.
Man, it was. That was thick. That was thick. And I hate that. That was like that was like a one-time thing. Like, we didn't know it was only going to be like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But it ended up being like a one-time thing, because the next time they tried to put the event on over there, like they did some crazy shit over there. Remember they had unpaved one
side of the street and all that.
One half of the street and shit, and then we tried to go race somewhere else, and we all left and went up what's that camp? We went up Camp Creek.
Yeah.
We got on the freeway and we got off and we went to some other
Boat Rock. Yeah, I went over there to Boat Rock.
Man, as soon as everybody pull in the park, nigga, we all in the line. Nigga, the police in the line with us. I'm like, man, I'm gone, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting the hell up out of here.
So here we are, man. We you talk about from the beginning, and then we kind of go through the middle. We in the end. How much has it changed, Ponto, for you?
It's different now, man. And people can say what they want to say, man, but it done evolved into something else. It depends on where you get into it at. Like, you know what I mean? If you still on it, like, you just got your ride around bike and you got your little motor on it, then you racing, people in the clubs and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's different. But I went over to I call myself going over to the other side. Which the other side meaning like
full race.
Yeah, like with the not to say it, I don't want to say it in no racist way or nothing like that, but like with the
white boys.
The white boys.
It is what it is.
The white boys, because
you went on the professional side more.
Because they got some fast motorcycles, man.
Yeah.
They got some fast motorcycles, and they shops and they got shops. You know what I mean? Like, in the early parts of the racing and shit, you know what I mean? We was having to take our bikes to some of them people in California, and they, like I said, I spent $10,000 on a motor.
Yeah. Back then,
and I was like 2006, 2007. I spent like $10,000.
12 years ago, you spending 10 racks on a motor.
And like now, I spend 10 racks on a motor. I get a full all-out race motor.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, which I probably could have got it back then, but they didn't want. They want to give.
You didn't know what you were supposed to get back then, so that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know, man. So yeah. I had no.
Plus, you was playing with that kind of money back then anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, we was all playing with that kind of money.
I was working hard.
Yeah.
I was working hard.
Every day.
I was working hard.
Every day.
Yeah, man, what?
16, 19 hours a day, right there.
I was grinding. I was grinding, and the money was good though. Like, and I was working though. I wasn't.
So let's talk about the build you got now. Why you think you're ready now?
To be honest with you, man, this transition that I went over to, man, it was like real. It's complicated. It's more complicated, man. It's more technical, man. And people think that, oh yeah, you put a race bike together, it should just automatically be fast. You should automatically win races off the top. That shit ain't gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
you gotta get all that stuff to work together. And see, like now, like we actually using sport bike technology on Harleys.
Yeah.
Which like if you go to some of these places to buy some of this stuff that they putting on these bikes now, they'll tell you that it won't work on a Harley. You know what I mean? Like some sport bike rims.
Yeah.
Like ain't nobody who would think that you'll be able to put some Yamaha wheels on a Harley.
Yeah.
But you can though. They tell you that they won't fit, but you can put them on there. You actually can put them on there, and you know some of the little computers like that, like they doing the computers, man. It's just I don't know, but I'm figuring like right now I've been like messing with this bike, man, for like the past like 8-9 months, man, trying to figure it out how to make it work and how to get it to go down the track and go fast. I think I got a grasp on it. I may not got all the way down, but I think I got a grasp on it enough to really be competitive. Like that's why like right now I ain't posting no times and nothing. Like everybody quick to post their little times on Facebook and all that stuff, man. You can't do that when you grudge racing.
Yeah.
Like I learned that from being in the South. See, in the early days, like California, you know, I show my time and show everybody my time with my bike running, and then I go try to race a cat, and that was like in an instance. That's the same thing with Dynamite. Like, you know, like he seen how my bike ran.
Yeah.
You know,
so he already knew if he
knew he knew what he had to do.
Yeah.
He had to put a little bit more horsepower on his bike, and then he outrun me. And that's the same thing with these Harleys. Like now, like see, I don't know. It's gonna be a good race between these two bikes that like Gaddafi and Huckleberry.
Yeah.
They both posting their times up on social media.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this: there's always been a controversy between if you don't own the bike, you know you're not a true champion. If the bike, you know, for example, if you got a jockey, but you know it ain't your bike. What's your thing on that? Should the owner of the bike have to race the bike, or does it matter to you?
No, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter because I mean you should be able to just beat the bike regardless of who riding it. But if you feel like that person is a better rider than you, maybe you should go put somebody else on your bike that can ride better than you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I never got into that. Like, you know, like I want to race the owner of the bike. I don't care.
Yeah.
I race. I just want to beat the bike. If I beat the bike, I don't care who was on. I don't care who was on it. If I beat the bike with the rider on it, I beat the owner too.
Yeah.
I beat both.
Do you think that's just an excuse that some people make to either not race or to try to, you know, get a different advantage? Because I remember at one time, like I said, that was always a big. Well, it ain't you race the bike, you race, you know, that kind of shit. So,
but everybody ain't no racer.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a racer to build a fast bike. You know what I mean? You can build a fast bike and not even be a racer. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a, you know, I never got that part of it. You know what I mean? That's why I always rode my bike because I feel like I can ride.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm gonna build something, and then my thing is, I'm not gonna build nothing to watch somebody else go down the street and tear my bike, my $10,000 motor up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down there and blow my motor up. Hey, because what's funny is too, like when I was young, man, I had bought this dirt bike. Now this dirt bike that I bought was the first bike that I rode with gears, like I rode with gears.
Okay.
And when I rode it, my first time riding it, it was my best friend. It was like one of my best friends. Man, I was living with my best friend and his parents, and we was in junior high, and my mom let me go live with them, and he was like a spoiled kid. Like he had everything, man. Like his mom and daddy, his mama used to work for the post office. No, his daddy worked for the post office, I think, and his mama did something else. But anyway, he was like a spoiled kid, man. The nigga had everything, like all the fresh Puma shoes,
everything,
suede Puma shoes. He had all that shit, man. All the Calvin Klein, Calvin Klein jeans and shit, all that shit. Argyle sweaters and shit. But he was my partner though, you know what I mean? I stayed with him, and one Christmas they bought him a 80, a Suzuki RM80, man, and. His daddy took us up over the projects. They had a big ass park. It's a park over there by Sunnydale. It's a big ass park, McLaren Park.
Okay.
Took us over to the park, and gonna let us ride after it was like on Christmas.
Yeah.
So he took us over there, and I had never rode a bike with gear. Before that I was riding mini bikes, and back then, like 70s, like late 70s, man, I had some Asians on my block that had some fast ass mini bikes.
Okay.
They outrun like a dirt bike.
Yeah.
But then he took us up there to ride the dirt bike, man. And I got on a dirt bike. I had never rode a bike with gears before, and I got on the bike and I rode it, but I rode it up the hill, and I didn't know nothing about braking and slowing down, and I'm trying to slow down, and I locked it up, and I slid, and I fell. But they didn't see me fall on the bike, though. They didn't see me fall on the bike. So I slid down the little asphalt, little walkway and shit, and I pick it up, kickstart, get back on it, ride it back down there. They didn't even know I fell on the bike, right? So anyway, I end up, like, years later, my boy ended up must have selling it to this other cat. So I think I was like around 17 at the time, 17, 18 at the time. And he sold it to this other cat. And the other cat just so happened to want to sell it, right? Yeah. So I was hustling at the time. I was selling rocks and shit. So I bought the bike from dude, like, and I was like, ooh. And I hadn't knew how to ride by then. So I was round in the projects. The project had a bunch of dirt. So I used to be riding all through the project. People in the project used to be mad at me because I used to be up at like 7 in the morning riding in between the buildings. Them dirt bike,
they make all the noise.
Yeah, they be like, bang, 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 all through the building, and they was echoing and shit, right? So one day, one of the OG dudes from the neighborhood, man, he's an OG dude named Mo Hunter, man. He was like, man, let me ride, man. I'm like, you know I ride? He like, yeah. So I let him get on my 80, right? And he didn't get no dirt or nothing. He went riding up the street, man. He rode it up the street, man, and I don't even think he went to second gear, man. He rode it all the way up the hill in first gear. I'm down there like, man, change gears, man, and burnt my motor up.
Wow.
Man, burnt it up, man. That was the end of my 80, man. I was mad because, we wasn't into putting nothing in the shop. Like, back then in the 80s, cars, whatever, that shit break, man. That shit is all.
Throw that shit in the gutter, go buy another.
Leave that shit in the park.
Throw it in the gutter and go buy another, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, like I said, but it was just a thing of like, about people like how you'll burn a motor up, man, and, it just be done. You know what I mean? But.
So it's for you, it don't make no difference. I'm racing the boat. It don't matter if the owner ride the bike or not.
Yeah, it don't matter. It wouldn't matter.
So the state of the race game right now, what do you think the state of the race game is right now?
I mean, it's two separate race games right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's track racing, and then it's people that still do it for fun, like, in front of the clubhouses and you know what I mean? And on the little side streets and stuff. Like for me, right now, I feel like Are you still street or you straight track? Nah, I'm not even racing on the street no more.
Straight track.
I'm cool. I done gambled long enough, and I ain't got caught, man. So I think it's time for me to hang up my street racing, man.
Okay.
And it just ain't safe no more. It ain't safe no more, man. And I done seen a badass accident, man, and I would never want to be a part of that. I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to see nobody be a part of nothing like that no more, man. That shit was horrific, man. But
shout out to my man Eddie Reed, little nephew. What up, nephew? Going down this weekend.
What's up, Wax? Yeah, I'm out here in the A2 already, man.
So anyway, man.
Eddie out here too.
Yeah. Oh, Eddie already out here?
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't come get on the couch, Eddie. What's that, nephew? You ain't come holler at your boy anyway. So that's what it is, man. My man Ponto, listen, man. I thank you for the history, man. I thank you for the stories. You know, it's just awesome, man, to see you. You know, to see you just talk about that history, and that's what I try to tell people, man. Is history right here in front of you.
Yeah,
the stuff that you know and seen, and the transgression from there to now. You know, that's the stuff that we need to be learning about.
People need to like not need to, but they need to just sometimes just like take a step back and like realize that you is like being a part of history. Like
Period,
you're watching part of history. You watching people evolve into what they evolving into. You know what I mean? Just like Eddie, man. You know what I mean? Like the history going back. I'm going down there and I end up racing Eddie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I done race Eddie a couple times out there, man. I done had a couple, like I said, I had quite a few races in LA too, though. You know what I mean? I had some wins, I had some losses. You know what I mean? And
so who you gunning for? Who you gunning for this weekend?
No, I ain't really gunning for nobody, but I do got a couple of grudge races.
What you got?
Well, I got a grudge race with Jason Broski.
Jason Broski.
From
you looking for his ass, Jason? He looking for you, Jason.
For Detroit.
Okay.
And of course, me and Flacco, we gonna have our rematch. But I gotta wait till him and Broski get it on, because him and Broski got an off the trailer race.
Okay.
So I gotta wait till they get off.
So you got the winner, or you got both of them? You got.
My preference is I'll take the loser first, and then when I beat the loser, I want to race the winner.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But then there's some other people that I want to race too, though. Like I want to race some other dudes too. Like it's a cat from he from Carolina. Like the dude Michael Beelan.
Okay.
Michael Beelan. He got a fast motorcycle. And he was asking, he actually called me. He hit me on Facebook and was asking me like, how my bike run and what time do your bike run? And I'm like, oh yeah, run around that number. So he was like, oh okay.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, I want to try him. And it's a couple of other bikes, man. Like it's a couple of other bikes, and the guys from Louisiana, they out here too.
Okay.
They got some nice little motorcycles too, and it's a lot of. It's a lot of other people.
I mean, like I said, people coming out there. People been building bikes. You're gonna get a chance to see some new cats and some hidden cats and some
That dude's Mad Monkey. The dude's Mad Monkey.
Mad Monkey. You talking about A1 Cycles and them?
No, Mad Monkey is the other dude. They from out here in Georgia, ain't they?
I don't think Mad Monkey is from out here. I don't know.
A1 Cycles is different from Mad Monkey, right?
Is they? I thought they were together.
I think they're different.
Okay.
I think they're different. I think my nigga Smoke Dog, Smoke said he was going to go down there too. Smoke bike run pretty good too.
Oh, it do? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's going to be something to see, man.
It should be a nice little turnout, man. This is my first time going to Carolina, man. Me personally, I never had a problem with really traveling, and people always had that problem with traveling, and they always want to.
Well, I'm going to say this, man. The A need to get out. The A don't travel. The A don't travel. The A don't travel, man.
Yeah,
the A don't travel.
It's a lot of people that.
It's a lot of people that come to the A.
A lot of people stay in their demographics. Like they won't come past. Like the people from the East Coast, like they won't come past maybe Atlanta.
Yeah.
And like the people from California, they won't come past Arizona. You know what I mean?
But Cali been coming though. Cali y'all been coming today.
But it's only a few of us though.
It don't matter. Yeah. Boy, y'all done been here and they done been there.
Yeah, I ain't never seen nobody from Atlanta come to racing and nowhere near California, not even in Phoenix. No.
Okay, no, Phoenix.
Okay. O was the only one that came out there. Like and nobody else from Atlanta ever went nowhere. Like you said, I ain't never seen them nowhere, right?
Yeah. So that's what it is, man. My man Ponto Racer in the building, man. Had a chance to bless the studio today. What you think about the studio, man?
Oh man, that's live, man. I'm finna get me some sleep in this joint, man.
Yeah, boy, man.
I'm spending the
I
night,
got a whole room for you, man. Hold on. What do you think about that chair, though? What about that beside?
Man, I'm finna get me one. I'm talking to the wife now, man. We gotta get one of them.
You gotta get that chair?
Yeah, that shit made me feel better already, man. I told you I was cramping up when I was driving out here, man. Because I did that drive by myself, man. I was tired, and then I was only off 3 hours of sleep because I went to work last night.
Yeah.
So I got home at like 2. I went to sleep. I woke up at like woke up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Took off.
And took off and got on the road and drove all day.
So we done came in, got you a massage, man. We're gonna make sure you're comfortable the whole 9 yards, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
you
and appreciate you and the
Come on, man. You know you family, man.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean?
Hey, what it is, man. It's your boy Big Cell FHOH NRC, man. Right here on FHO Podcast Radio. My man Ponto Racer in the building. It's going down this weekend. Jason Broski, he looking for you. Flacco, we looking for you, man.
I'm coming. I'm gonna knock y'all off.
We appreciate the stories, man. OG stories from the Bay, man. I appreciate all that. It just is what it is. I just love hearing the history, man. So, again, thank you. Hey, y'all, stay tuned, too. I got some more interviews coming tomorrow afternoon, man, from some more celebrity G's that's stopping through. So, y'all stay tuned for that, man. And, again, we love you. It's your boy, Big Cell FHOH, and I see, man. Enjoy your night, man.
God damn. It's Big Cell. What that mouth do besides tell the truth on FHO Podcast Radio.
FHO is a lifestyle, a movement, grown folks' business.
Hey, hit me up, Eddie, man. Call me so we can make it happen, man, for sure.
It's your boy, Big Cell. FHO's HNIC. Mr. Him Be Everywhere.